I'm absolutely loving this. Light Song is the main character of this book, and you can't convince me otherwise. Interestingly enough, I don't know where I land with the star rating. Wilder is such a hottie McHotster. Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new. We are starting a weekend reading vlog, and I'm so excited because we have a lot of exciting activities that we're doing this weekend, along with reading amazing books. First up is a book I have been saying all year that I'm going to read, and we're finally getting to it. That is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Not gonna lie, she's scary, she's intimidating to me, but I've had so many friends read this book, love this book, and also tell me it's a good place to start with his Cosmere and his writing. So Warbreaker. I do have the audiobook for this, so I think doing some immersive reading, listening along with the audiobook is going to help me get my bearings in the beginning. So that is the game plan going into Warbreaker. And then the other book that I have, just as a balance, in case I start to feel like this is getting to be too much and overwhelming, I have our book club book for the Who Did This To You book club. It is a romantasy book club that I run on Fable, and Blood and Steel by Helen Scheuerer is our book for November, and I have yet to read it or even start it, and it is currently November 17th. So I'm super excited to start this and start joining in the conversations. I've seen so many quotes and stunning things shared in our Fable group that I have been trying to ignore because I didn't want any spoilers, but now I want to be a part of the conversation. So this is the game plan. I'm only doing 2 this weekend because these are chunky. This one's close to 600 pages, I think. Close to 600. This one's about 500. So that is the TBR for this weekend. And then for the agenda, so let's just start with today. I'm gonna take y'all along because I asked on Instagram if y'all would like some more like holiday prep lifestyle stuff included in this weekend reading vlog, and y'all said yes. So today we are prepping for Thanksgiving, which is next week. I'm going to Trader Joe's. I have to get stuff to make a cute little charcuterie board because I don't know about y'all, but our tradition on Thanksgiving Day is that while I'm cooking and drinking wine, we don't really eat anything before Thanksgiving dinner. Not that we don't eat anything, we just snack on a lot of things. So I'm getting stuff to make a charcuterie board for us to snack on pretty much all day, which is going to be lovely. And then I'm also making a, how do I describe it? It's like a brie wreath. So you get like Pillsbury dough crescent rolls, and you put brie and I think cranberry sauce in them, and then you roll it so it looks like a little holiday wreath. So that is the other appetizer that I'm going to be making, and I'm going to be getting stuff for because Trader Joe's just has the best stuff for charcuterie and wine. They just have amazing things. I also want to run into Target and try to control myself because all of the holiday decor is out, but that is not what we're going to Target for. I want to go get like a really cute wooden cutting board. I'm not going to use it for cutting. I'm just going to use it as like a display for the charcuterie board because I don't have like a nice platter to display it on. So that is the plan for today. We're also going to get a Starbucks drink because I haven't gone to Starbucks in a really long time. That is the plan for this weekend reading vlog. I hope that you're excited, friends. If you are, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Let's do some really fun things. to start? I guess I'll start with the charcuterie board itself. So when I was at Target, I showed y'all, they had actual wooden serving platters, and there were a couple that I did really like. However, they were much more expensive. I went over to the wooden cutting board section, and I like this wood a lot more, and for 2 of these, it was $20. Saving coins, which is great because I said I wasn't gonna get any holiday decor at Target, but my willpower flew out the window as soon as I walked through those doors and I got a cart. I literally told myself, I'm not even gonna bring one of my reusable bags into Target because all I'm gonna get
is a cutting board and Diet Cokes.
That's a big joke. So let's look at the Christmas stuff that I got that you did see very briefly. I needed a new peeler, so I did get a new peeler. They had these white, they're like slightly sparkly. Oh gosh, you can't see that at all. There you go. These light up and they're white, kind of sparkly Christmas trees, and I was like, these would be adorable on my bookshelves. So I did get these. They were $10 each. It's fine, we saved money on our charcuterie board. And then the only other Christmas thingy that I got at Target were new dish towels because these are so cute. My decorating color palette is kind of like red and white with some green and pink. I'll show you when I put up, we're gonna decorate for Christmas very, very shortly in reading vlogs for Bookmas. So I'll show you my Christmas decorative pillows that I put on my bed, but like this is the color scheme. And so I was like, perfect. These were $3 each as well. So I was like, we can do that. This is what I got for my charcuterie meats. You get 3 of them, and this was only $9. I did also get pepperoni because I love pepperoni. And this is the gourmet uncured pepperoni. It's actually delicious. It's kind of spicy as well. We got kind of spicy meats. So there's that. And then for cheeses, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. For cheeses, I got the Saint Andre Brie Triple Cream. I've heard really, really good things about this. This is the first time that I'm going to be trying it. So love that. Then I got the unexpected cheddar cheese because I've also heard amazing things about this. Actually, I have tried this before and it's delicious. And then I got the Toscano cheese black pepper. So it's like crusted in black pepper. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. And then I got this maple cranberry and orange spread. This is going to go in the brie wreath that I'm gonna be making. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to try this. And then I got some grilled pitted green olives in oil. These are gonna go on the charcuterie. I do also have these like massive kosher pickles that I'm going to put on. I'm gonna chop them up into little bite-sized pieces. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and you will definitely see some pictures of this. I'm gonna put all of this stuff away and then we need to get reading pretty soon. Much more dense and like scary of a fantasy, but I'm literally loving this so much. Also, my friend Val told me that there's romance in here and I'm shocked. Couple thoughts. One, this family has like mood ring hair. Their hair changes colors with their emotions unless they like actively try to suppress it. And I love that so much. I want to know how that like plays into the overall bigger picture of the story because that seems like such a funny thing for Brandon Sanderson to add at this moment in time in the beginning. It seems a little like silly, goofy, funny. I'm loving the fact that we're switching POVs pretty much in each chapter. Actually, even within a chapter, there's different sections that flip POVs. We're having a good time. I need to continue reading. I'm going to read, this session has been for about an hour. I have about 20 minutes left in this reading session because I need to try to film a video before I completely lose the light, and it is currently 3:44, so I do need to do that soon. I'm pre-filming some stuff for Bookmas, so I wanted to get another video filmed and hopefully edited for later tonight. And then when Ross comes home, which he should be home in about an hour, we're gonna head to the mall because he has to try on wedding bands and tell me what he likes. So we have some plans a little bit later and I'm trying to get everything done. So I'm gonna keep reading for another 20 minutes and then I'll probably do another reading check-in later tonight once I'm able to actually sit down and read a little bit more. I think in the next 20 minutes, I think I can get to page about 50-ish, but so far a really strong start to this book and I shouldn't have been as like scared by it because obviously Brandon Sanderson knows what he's doing to like introduce a reader to his world and not have it be entirely overwhelming with how popular of an author he is. So all positive things so far. Okay, I am a little over 100 pages. I'm on page 106. I just read up to chapter 10 in Warbreaker. I'm absolutely loving this. I love the politics that are coming into play. I love the gods, and I think that the magic system is so interesting, like magic that has to do with colors. Fascinating. I'm absolutely enthralled. I also find that the life views of each of our characters is very, very different, and so when you get transported into another POV, it's so interesting how they're seeing the world and their interpretations of certain things. And we have a lot of the characters focused in a centralized setting, and so they're all experiencing that centralized setting very differently. Like even the two sisters that we follow in this book, Vivenna and Ciri, they come from the same place, they were raised in the same place, but they live their lives extremely differently. I also am really enjoying, what's his name? Lightsong. He's a god, and so having his god point of view, he's called one of the returned, because basically gods in the society, for the most part, are people who lived a life, died in a very honorable way, and then they're returned from death. It's kind of giving Jesus, but like it happens to all of the gods, and then they have to feed on this magic source to be able to actually like stay alive for an extended period of time. And Lightsong's perspective on things and how unserious he is really fun. So far, at least, this book has been lighthearted. It has a sense of levity to it, which is nice because I was anticipating it to be, I don't know, like quite a heavy book. However, because there's politics involved and it's called Warbreaker, I am expecting some type of big conflict to come into play, a very big political conflict. Some might call it a war to happen. I don't know what I was expecting with this book. I had very little idea because I haven't heard people really talk about details about this book. So I had very little idea of what I was getting into, but I'm having so much fun. I just wanted to do that kind of 100-page check-in, and we'll see how much farther I get. Tonight, I am so happy that this has just been such a good time. Good morning, besties. So I got up to I tried to get to page 200 last night. I'm so close. I'm actually kind of mad at myself that I didn't just like continue, but I was starving and I had to make like a midnight snack. What did I even make? Oh, I made a slice of pizza last night, and so that's why I stopped reading where I did. So I made it to page 178. I'm on chapter 18. Sorry, the 8s and the 0s and like the font that he chose look so similar. I always get very thrown off. Things really started to take a turn. Like, I feel like we got the exposition in the first 120 pages. Once we started to hit page 130, that's where things started to really get into the rising action in this book, and I'm so excited because I have a feeling I know where this is going, but I'm so excited to see like how everything falls into place. I also loved the first interaction between Lightsong and Siri. I hope that they become best friends. I'm really hoping to read another 200 pages. Like if I could get up or close to page 400, maybe chapter 37, page 392, I would be very, very happy with that. I do also want to try to start Blood and Steel. What's tricky for me is that lately I've had such a completionist mindset. Like I don't want to put down a book that I'm currently reading to start a new one until I finish my current book. However, I don't want this weekend reading vlog to just be a Warbreaker vlog. I do want to try to get some other reading in here, and I think the fact that I have the audiobook for this is going to help me listen to this while I'm doing like some of the other things that I have to get done today. And I need to get started because it's 10:30. So we are going to go actual food shopping for Thanksgiving stuff. Like I'm gonna get my turkey today and whatever. I wasn't gonna take y'all along for that because I feel like the Trader Joe's and the charcuterie was the fun part of the shopping, and like going to Target and stuff, and then like going actual grocery shopping for Thanksgiving food. That haul isn't fun. Like it's all just very like basic things. So I'm not gonna take y'all along for that. I am trying to film 2 videos today as well, which is, we're Delulu and we're unhinged today in all aspects of everything. Maybe start like the first 50 pages of Blood and Steel and we'll see how well that goes. So that is tentative plan. Quite ambitious, but we'll see if we get everything done. I'm just going to slap on some mascara and start to film my first video for the day, and we will take it from there. I will check in once I start to read a little bit more. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to say about Warbreaker is that the misogyny towards Siri really freaking kills me. The fact that there's these people in this, you know, new kingdom that she's in, they call her Vessel. They don't even call her by her name. They don't call her my queen, my liege. They call her Vessel. I'm like, how much more disrespectful can you get? I really hope that Siri just, I hope that something happens where she can get back at them for calling her Vessel this entire book. It makes me want to rage, and I hope that they get their comeuppance for being horrible people. It is quite a bit later, but I wanted to do a little bit of a check-in because y'all saw I was listening to the audiobook for Warbreaker when I was cooking. So I went shopping, got everything that we needed to. We are all set for Thanksgiving, which feels so nice. Also, I don't know what kind of magic happened, but when I went to the grocery store, I was expecting it to be madness. It really wasn't that bad. And I was like, I was expecting y'all to be a little bit busier today. And they were like, oh, Sunday onwards, it's gonna be absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know why right now is kind of slow. So timed that perfectly. Filmed one of the videos that I needed to today, edited it, scheduled it, did a thumbnail. So one of them is completely all done, which is so nice. And after I cooked, y'all also saw I started this like bread starter. It's bread dough. I mean, it's going to rise, but I have to let it sit for 24 hours, like 18 to 24 hours. But I found this recipe on Pinterest. I'll link it down below. So that's what I was doing when I was listening to the audiobook. I haven't listened to too much more. I'm currently on chapter 20. I kind of stopped like right in the middle of chapter 20 because then it was about 4 o'clock and I was like, okay, let me film my other video and just like get it filmed, and that way I can edit it throughout this week. So we are ahead of schedule on content, which is so nice. I'm sorry, I don't usually talk about like content plans and stuff like that, and I'm sorry if it's boring. I can stop doing it, just let me know. But today it was like this weekend, and today that was a lot of my plans, is to like start getting ahead and editing and stuff like that. And now I get to just sit down and read. I'm so excited, and I'm going to continue watching a video by Cozy K. She's a Twitch streamer, but she's also a YouTuber, and she just talks about a lot of like cozy hobbies. She's a cozy gamer. Her decorating and like holiday vlogs slash like shopping vlogs are so vibey. So I'm watching her video now and just chilling for a little bit, taking a little bit of a relaxed moment, and then we will get back in to Warbreaker. I literally just started reading again, but I cannot believe that I stopped not even halfway through, like right at the beginning of chapter 20, because the plot twist that we get in chapter 20, or not necessarily plot twist, but like the information that we get in chapter 20, I'm shooky. Like my mouth was open reading like the entire second half of that chapter. It just shows you that the entire story was very, very well thought out, and it doesn't all just like come to a head all at once. Although after that plot twist, I'm sure that like the ones farther along in this book are gonna be crazy. Morning besties. I have, I think like a big reading update actually, because I've read quite a bit more of Warbreaker since my last check-in. I had sprints this morning with Cass from Covers with Cassidy, which was so much fun. Oh my gosh, we had such a good time. And I am 70%, a little over 70% of the way through Warbreaker. I can't believe that I have like binge read this book this weekend. Reading along with the audio, I've actually been able to listen to the audiobook on 2x speed or higher. Like most of the time I'm listening to it on 2.5 if I'm reading along with the physical book, which is perfect. So if I continue listening on 2x speed, I have about 3 hours left of the book, and I think that's doable today. So updated thoughts. I'm a little bit back and forth with this book about whether it's a 5 or a 4 star. It's a very, very strong 4 star, like 4.5. But the middle of this book has started to lag a little bit for me. Again, like I'm loving the character so much that it's not impacting me too much, but I do get through a slew of chapters and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need something, like can something happen? And then usually something does, and it carries me through the next section, the next little section. There was just a big plot twist when I was on sprints. I was reading and I was like, I'm probably making crazy faces right now because I was like, oh my gosh, the plot twist that happened. It was absolutely wild. Not gonna lie, Lightsong is the main character of this book, and you can't convince me otherwise. Like he is just an entire moment. He's easily the most interesting character in my opinion, although Siri is a very close second. I really don't love the chapters with Vivenna. At first I thought she was kind of interesting. I do think her purpose in the book is quite interesting, but she's really lulled for me, and the most interesting characters in her sections are the mercenaries. Denth being the most interesting, and then I do really enjoy the chapters with Vasher because he's like the biggest mystery of the book and we don't really know what his purpose is. But last night it really hit me. This book is extremely contradictory. Like all of the characters are dealing with internal conflicts. Like they have a belief system, but they're doing actions that are contradictory to the belief system. And like even societies as a whole in this book are very contradictory. I forget if I've mentioned this quite yet, but this is supposed to be a standalone. However, when I went on Goodreads, I saw that it's now labeled Warbreaker 1, and there is like a second book on Goodreads that's I think it's untitled, but it says like Warbreaker 2. So I want to know how this is gonna leave off. I think that it's going to come to a fairly wrapped up conclusion, and I know that Brandon Sanderson has an interesting way of writing sequel books. Like he could go super, super into the future. He just does whatever he damn well pleases. All that to say, I will check in a little bit later when I read more. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a very strong book. I'm just torn between 4.5 to 5 star. I guess we'll see when I finish. I only have about 83 pages left. I'm on page 504. It's crazy to me that this audiobook, so I only have 83 pages left. That's like towards the end of the book. It says that I still have, if I were listening on 1x speed, 3 hours and 41 minutes left. Like, that math doesn't math to me. I need to take a break from reading this. This second half is definitely dragging a lot more than the first did. I was expecting towards the end of this book, or like somewhere in the middle, a lot more action. And if you like political fantasy, you will love this book, because this book is all scheming and politics and alliances and secret betrayals and actual betrayals. I really just want to switch to a fantasy romance. So I think what I'm gonna do is finish this book tomorrow and take a break from listening to it for the rest of the day, and I will extend this vlog into Monday, so that way we'll get some final thoughts on Warbreaker. But I'm about to stick my bread in the oven. Fingers crossed everything goes well. I also will say, I was told that there was some romance in Warbreaker. I disagree. There's a relationship that takes place, but there is literally zero romance in this book. Even the two people in like the relationship that takes place, they both have their own purposes, and it's so much more focused on that than it ever is with like romantic details of their relationship. Interestingly enough, I don't know where I land with the star rating. Let's go do bread. We're gonna read fantasy romance. We're gonna have a brain break. It's gonna be amazing. And then we will circle back to hopefully close out this book strong.
Santa, I've been good this year. Make your list and check it twice. I'll leave you a note right here underneath the Christmas lights. Carols and bells, none of them help. I still feel blue. I just wanna fall in love this Christmas. I don't need a fancy watch.
Hello friends, so it is Monday and I have some final thoughts on some books to share before we close out this vlog. Today, I did end up finishing Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I don't know where to start with my final thoughts. This is my first Brandon Sanderson book. So immediately from the get-go, I could tell stunning writing style, like really strong writing style, really strong characters. Clearly the story was well thought out. Objectively, all of those things are just fact. The first half, really loved it. Then the second half really started to fade, and it started to fade very quickly for me because I kept wondering, like, when is something going to happen? When is something going to happen? And for a book that's almost 600 pages, this was too long for nothing to happen the entire time, and then for all of the action to happen in the last 50 pages. I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought that Brandon Sanderson was playing a joke on all of us to be like, how long can I make my readers read something where nothing happens? Sorry, my camera died. But I wasn't getting enough time with the characters that I found most interesting, and I think that was intentional because there were characters that were the most mysterious, and rightfully so, because like a lot was happening with them behind the scenes for a lot of like plot twisty reveals. But then we were spending more and more time with Vivenna, and I found her to be the least likable and most boring character, and I'm like, can we please just get to something? Like, I just need something to happen. So I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It went from a potential 5 to a 4.5 to a 3 because I feel that if you took away 100 pages from this book, it probably would have been a 5-star for me. And then let's talk about Blood and Steel. So I was actually so happy to switch to this book last night. I ended up reading about 75 pages of this last night and a little bit more of it today, so I'm now on page 144. This was like a breath of fresh air after the boring nothingness of Warbreaker. I feel like people are gonna come for me saying that, but this was such a nice break because immediately there was that romantic interest, there's some tension, there's a lot happening, and I was like, okay, this is exactly what I needed. It was also a little bit of a brain break, but Blood and Steel is so much fun. So I forget, I think I introed this book, but we have our main character Thea, and this is a land where there are prophecies for the land as a whole, and that our main character has this fate necklace. Not everyone gets one, but the people that do, basically your death is predicted at a very young age. And so Thea has known roughly when she's gonna die, and she kind of has like a prophecy attached to her person, which I don't know if I would like knowing when I'm gonna die. And so because she's had this omen of death over her since she's very, very young, she's always said, I want to make the most of my life and I want to become a legend. She wants to become a warrior of Thesmar, which are called the War Swords of Thesmar. She wants to be a baddie, and she kind of already is a baddie. She wants to be a part of this warrior group. Now, this society is very frustrating to read about because everyone got scared about this prophecy over the land, and then they decided 20 years ago when they got this prophecy that women were no longer allowed to touch, carry, wield weapons at all. Any of the women warriors that were in the War Swords of Thesmar got removed, and they now have to do like womanly tasks. Now she's racing against the clock. She fights to secure her place in the elite guard charged with the protection of the 5 kingdoms. The sparring and hazing of the new trainees border on deadly, but even more dangerous is her growing attraction to Wilder Hawthorne, the unwilling warrior chaperone. The tension between them, absolutely stunning. Love him so much. It's very much like a hate to love situation. He hates her right off the bat. Wilder is such a hottie McHotster. I think I showed a couple of the highlights because I'm annotating this book. He is so hot. He has a man bun and dark hair, and he's tall and muscly and warrior-y, and I love him so much. There's a one-horse trope in this. All of the scenes between them that have been like tension-building scenes, oh my gosh, I'm eating it up and licking my plate and saying thank you. My tabs that I'm doing, I have tabs for character info, romance teehees. I have a separate tab for tension. I wasn't gonna do that, but then I was like, I kind of need it. A 4th one for quotes, and 5 for War Swords of Thesmar for like information. So that's how I'm tabbing it. Those are the initial thoughts for this book. I know that was just me screaming and giggling and kicking my feet about this, but like, that's how I'm feeling. If you want to continue this conversation or hear more of my thoughts, this is our book club pick for the Who Did This To You book club, which I run on the app called Fable. It's always linked in the description box below. We have so much fun. We read fantasy romance every month. We vote on the book that we're gonna read together. And I need to start thinking about what our December book is going to be. So yes, that's linked all down below. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, friends. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I will catch you in the comments, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!